glad it's over now, and I wish no one really experiences anything like that, to be honest.
From the streets of Ardwick to the bright lights of Manchester City, Khiara Keating's rise has been anything but ordinary. Still only 21, she's already City's #1 and a Lioness who knows what it takes to be a European champion.
The feeling of winning, I will never ever forget, or I can't describe to you. But it was so special. Being the first black English goalkeeper was something that I could be so proud of.
But behind the saves, the medals and the fast rise came a moment that stopped everything. Khiara found herself in the headlines for reasons far removed from football, a court case that followed her through the season and into the most important year of her career.
I really struggled. I think things could have spiralled very easy. I wish no one really experiences anything like that, to be honest.
Khiara reflects on growing up fast. She takes us back to the childhood that shaped her, the mum who built a team so she could play, and the bold move from United's academy to City's that changed everything.
The area was quite rough, so violence, gang. Football was kind of always been my escape. My decision why I moved was...
And she looks ahead to the future, including the dream of one day lining up against her sister, currently coming through Liverpool's academy. For She's a Baller, this is Khiara Keating's point of view.
It was a tough time, and I'm not going to sit here and act like it was easy, but I knew one day that the truth would always come out. Hi, I'm Khiara Keating. I'm a goalkeeper for Manchester City and the Lionesses, and this is Point of View by She's a Baller.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about your journey to now. Can you tell us a bit about where you're from and what your childhood and teenage years were like growing up? I mean, they were 2 days ago, so yeah.
So I grew up in Manchester in a place called Ardwick. It's just on the edge of town, so it was a bit rough. I went to a normal primary school, had normal friends, still have normal friends. Grew up, the area was quite rough, so violence, gangs, so football was kind of always been my escape. So when people were playing out, probably causing trouble, I always had training, so it was kind of a saviour type of thing. But yeah, my mum always made sure that obviously I knew where I came from, but I knew that I could always get out of it as well, and there was always an option to be better than where you came from. So yeah, it was quite cute.
And what was it like growing up? I know you had quite a big family, you're a big family person.
Yeah.
What was the atmosphere like in your household as a
There is
youngster?
a lot of us. No, it is a mad house. Mum says it all the time, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I have the 6 of us, so 2 older brothers and then 4 younger sisters. Well, me plus 3 younger sisters, but 4 girls. So yeah, it was a mad house when we all was young, but I loved it and I wouldn't change it any other way. We're all dead close now, we're a bit older, so it's like having best friends.
And do you give them free tickets to your games?
Yeah.
Or...
all of them. My debut, when I made it with England, there was 20 of my family members there.
Free of charge?
Yeah, free of charge.
Yeah,
England did do me nicely
nice.
there.
So you were one of the middle kids. What was that like? Were you classic middle child, or were you the bossier one or the quieter one?
I'd say I was a bit of everything. There was times where I would annoy my brothers. I used to get so much enjoyment out of it. Then there's also times where I'd be a bit quiet because I just couldn't be bothered. I'd let someone else take the shine for a bit. But then I was always the star girl, so I kind of always had that attention anyway.
And what do they think about how much success you've had in football?
Well, as a family, we're not really expressive with our words, but I know my brother, when I made my debut, he wrote me a paragraph, and I stood and stared at my phone for about 5 minutes because it's just not what we're like. But I know they are so proud. They turn up to every game in numbers just to show me how proud they are, which I will always appreciate them for. My mum has never missed a fixture.
My God. And in terms of sort of growing up, who do you reckon your biggest role models were?
Definitely my mum.
Yeah.
She's been the rock of our family. We're all so different, but she manages to bring the best out of all of us, which is nice. And yeah, I don't think she's watched a soap or Coronation Street or Emmerdale in about 10 years because she's been running around the whole of the UK. So yeah, no, it's dead nice, and I don't think I'll ever be anywhere as far as I am now without her.
And how did you get into football? How did that all come about that you started doing that training at such a young age?
When I was younger, my mum made a team with everyone, so it was dead cute, and I've always been around football.
And how did you get into goalkeeping specifically? And how did you start? What position were you before you found
I was a striker.
a striker?
Yeah, and the only reason I even became keeper was because I went to a United trial and I seen how many outfielders there was, and I told mum I'm going home. She was like, "You're not going home." So then I tried as a keeper and I got in, but I used to play like half in goal, half outfield because I could never just stay in the goal.
Like rush keeper, that kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
No, but like at that age, my team at United, I don't know how we was so good. We was beating teams like 24-0. Like being a keeper in games like that is not fun at all. So I used to play like half outfield and just go. I used to love it.
Do you think that's kind of helped you now, kind of having that kind of more outfield role, like the distribution?
Yeah, 100%. I think one of my biggest strengths is distribution. That probably helped a lot. And like when they're shooting, I can kind of like read them because I was also scoring goals. So it makes it easier.
What is one thing that most people wouldn't know about your journey?
It's been rough. Yeah, I think because I obviously achieved like the Golden Glove so young, everyone was like, wow, like she's kind of just got it straight away. Whereas I didn't. Like I was at the first team since I was about 15. So I've had to like wait patiently, learn a lot of things from Robes, KB, like people that was in before me, and yeah, just patiently wait for my turn.
We're going to talk a little bit now about your club career. Obviously, you mentioned that you started out your life as a striker, and the transition over to being a goalkeeper was quite young. You played for Man United between the ages of 6 and 11, and then moved across to City Academy. How did it feel crossing the red and blue line?
I don't count it because it was when I was little. Do you know what I mean? But nah, my decision why I moved was because United didn't have a women's team at that time. So for my development, I knew that being somewhere that had a women's team so I could aspire to actually play would benefit me in the long run. So that was the reason why I made the switch.
Did your friends and family give you any ag about going over to?
Nah, my brother's a little bit because they're United fans, but other than that, can't really say anything to me. I made the right decision.
Yeah. You started obviously to make appearances on the bench for Man City during the 2020-21 season. How did it feel making that first big step?
Yeah, I think it was huge. Obviously, like coming from Manchester and obviously making the move because there was a women's team. So to actually play for the women's team, someone that you watch, you've ball girled for, like it's mad. I remember like him actually telling me the first time when I was like, but I think because I couldn't prepare and I just got through in after the warm up, it was like, right, that's happening. But I think if I was to deep it, yeah, it would have been a long day.
Do you still feel that the sense of like anxiety when you step onto that pitch? Like, is there a fear at all, or is it just more like excitement about going out and performing?
Not so much now. I think like when I was new to like playing the WSL especially, I was like, and then the Champions League, my Champions League debut, I was absolutely petrified. But other than that, I think now it's just exciting. It's just a chance to show people how good you are again. And
then you were loaned out to the National League North AFC FIDE the following season. How was that experience?
Mental.
In what way?
Mental. I think just seeing like the standard difference like was crazy. Even at such a young age, like training with the first team, then playing games with them. I'm like, wow. Like even stupid things like it was on Astro. So I was like, I always used to have to like consciously remember my molds because I never used to wear them. So yeah, it was an experience, but I'm glad I did it.
And then you made your debut in January 2022, starting an FA Cup game against Leicester, and then a WSL debut against Aston Villa the week after. How did that moment feel? That was such a huge thing to do.
Yeah, I think again it was a bit surreal. I think the WSL one especially, like I was like, wow, like I could get used to this. Like walking out for the first time in the league was something that you dream of. So yeah, it was amazing and a very, very proud moment.
And then you joined Coventry United on loan until the end of the 2022-23 season. How was that experience?
It was good. I think game time was so important. I was young, just wanted to play games. And yeah, it taught me a lot about football. Like seeing games out, Coventry wasn't doing very well. I don't think when I went there, they haven't won a game the whole season. So for me, it was just like going somewhere where I know I'm going to be challenged was more exciting than anything. And then at the end of the day, we turned around a few results that we probably Crystal Palace maybe, but yeah, no, it was an experience, and yeah, I'm also grateful for it.
It's absolutely jarring that is the moment that we first met. Coventry have been on such
We
a bad
haven't
run of
won a
form.
game the whole season, and we.
I remember being on
My
that
first
coach
game.
to your ground and thinking, this is just going to be an absolute walkover. They've not won a game for ages. Like, we went up so complacent, and then you guys turned us over. It was quite a big result as well.
Yeah, it was literally our first 3 points. And it was crazy because I literally trained with them once before, so I didn't even know the team. But
that was heartbreaking. Shaking hands at the end of that match was absolutely heartbreaking. I think that's when I knew that my career was over. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that moment. You then obviously made a huge impact with City in the 23-24 season, named as the WSL Player of the Month in October, and then by December you had the third highest save percentage of the league for that season. I don't know why you're doing that humble face. This is crazy. This is crazy stats for someone so young. By the end of the season, you were the youngest goalkeeper to win the WSL Golden Glove, keeping 9 clean sheets, and then finish the season with the most minutes played from the English under-21 in the WSL. What was it like to have finished a year like that? I mean, you mentioned the highs of how you felt, but was there kind of any pressure to kind of keep that standard, or did you just kind of felt elated by what you'd achieved?
yeah, I think when you're in the moment, like game by game, like you don't really deep what you're doing till the end of the season, and I won the award. I was like, whoa, like I've actually won it. Like, and WSL, we have a lot of great keepers. I think the standard has gone up massively. So I think to win that award and like get the recognition that I wasn't really used to, I was like, oh, that it kind of gave me the motivation to obviously want to do more and keep feeling the way I was feeling. But yeah, I think the most minutes played was a crazy stat to me. But I enjoyed every second of it, so thanks.
And how did it feel, kind of your presence in the league at that point, like the fans really getting behind you? You kind of built like quite a strong fan base. How was that, kind of seeing, you know, young girls come out in your shirts and kind of like want your autograph, and kind of, I feel like that was a season you really made a name for yourself.
Yeah, I think it was so special. I think even now when I walk out for the wall and there's little girls and little boys screaming like Khiara with my name on the back of the shirt, it's quite surreal, because in my head sometimes I think like I'm just a little girl that plays football from Ardwick. So yeah, it's obviously takes some adjusting to, but it is a very, very special feeling.
And how did you celebrate all of that at the end of the season? Did you go out? Did you?
I enjoyed fully and celebrated and rested and worked hard for the next season.
What happens behind the scenes stays behind the scenes.
Copy that.
Love that. I want to talk a little bit about your personal life, if that's okay. Everyone we've spoken to on this Point of View series is a pretty big figure in the public eye. We've definitely seen a lot more attention, obviously, being given to the WSL players, especially the Lionesses as well. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. How have you dealt with the transition with the media kind of taking a bit more interest in your private life and what you do off the pitch?
Yeah, I think there's obviously pros and cons to media. I think it is special that we have such a strong platform. So when we do want to come together and put out messages, like in the Euros with Jess, like we all put out obviously the anti-racism. So using the platforms positively, but then there's also a lot of opinions out there, a lot of eyes on you. So I think finding the balance of obviously putting things out for the public and like giving a bit of you and showing everyone what you're about. But then I think it's also nice to have a bit of privacy, and football's not live, football doesn't last forever. So I think having like things you do outside of football that's private is also just as special. And
how have you dealt with, you know, sometimes as a goalkeeper, I used to have games where things just would not go to plan. I was like, just get me off the pitch. I don't want to be here anymore. But where sort of like mistakes have happened and you've kind of seen media attention around it, how do you recover from those things? And do you have a sort of support network that you go to kind of speak to when things like that happen?
Yeah, I think it's obviously also important to have them type of people. At the end of the day, it took me a little while to understand it, but it's football, everyone makes mistakes. Like no one's ever going to have a perfect game, no one's ever going to have a perfect run of games. So just accepting that it's fine to make mistakes, and it's part and parcel with the sport. Like you kind of know what you sign up for, and yeah, that everyone's gonna have a bad day. So bad days don't last forever.
And how do you recover from those bad days?
I think just being with the right people, obviously talking to the right people, your agent, your family, your friends, people that you know care and have the right intentions for you, just getting advice from them, and sometimes just switching off and doing things you enjoy and just nothing football related, and just kind of closing it and putting it in a box till you have to face it again.
And what do you do to kind of take yourself away from football? What are you getting up to off the pitch and on your down days?
Shopping, sleeping. I love paddle. Like, I'm obsessed with paddle.
Oh, okay, you've got into that.
I love it. Like, I thought, oh, I don't get the hype. Then I did it, and now I'm obsessed.
A decent?
I'm very good. I'd like to say I'm up there.
I'm pretty sure paddle's going to be in the Olympics at some point
Is
soon.
it?
I mean, there's a dual career option here, I think.
Paddle's a bit too much moving though sometimes, so I have to have a partner, or else I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No, I do enjoy paddle. Paddle's a good way to switch off, but you still feel like you're doing something because you're running around the court.
I suppose the hand-eye coordination as well probably helps.
Exactly.
Do any of your teammates at Lionesses or at City play paddle with you, or?
No. The thing is, they're not on my level, so then it would actually frustrate me. Like, playing paddle with them would really get on my nerves. However, Maya is really good at paddle.
Okay.
So I'll give her a props, but no, we don't go out for paddle dates. I have my little paddle crew.
You're at a different level.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna.
Sorry guys, I do love you all.
We are just going to talk about the situation with the oxide, if that's okay. So you were charged last year in July in relation to possession of a Class C drug, the nitrous oxide canisters. In June this year, the charges were dropped, but you haven't really had a chance yet to kind of share your side of the story and what happened. But yeah, we'd love to hear kind of your take on it all. I appreciate it was a very stressful time for you.
Very. But no, I think obviously being wrongly accused of something is also very tough when it's released in the media and it's literally everywhere. I think obviously there was no case to prove, so at the end of the day the truth did come out, I think. But for the year that it was going on was so tough. I think I really look back and I really struggled. I think if I didn't have like the right people around me at the time, I think things could have spiraled very easy. But I'm glad it's over now, and I wish no one really experiences anything like that, to be honest, because it just wasn't nice.
I can appreciate it was obviously a really stressful time for the news to come out as well, just before sort of a major tournament. Did you kind of speak to your teammates and sort of City and the Lionesses? How was the support
I think,
on that side?
Well, everyone was obviously made aware because it was going to come out in the media, so I think knowing that it'd rather come from me than anyone else, and them hearing different stories and stuff, so everyone was quite supportive in the football world. Like my teammates, that summer I had obviously had England camp, so I was going to be around them, so they made it very, very easy for me to be around. No one really pressured me into anything, and obviously Serena knew and the guys at City knew, so I felt very supported by football in that time. I think I needed it, or else it was quite a rubbish time in general, so I think knowing that I could go to football and everyone's not talking about it or whispering, I think it was nice.
And how hard was it kind of trying to, I appreciate you had to kind of stay quiet until now that the charge had been dropped. I mean, how difficult was that, not being able to kind of tell your side of the story and the events at that time?
Yeah, I think it was rubbish. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and lie. I think some of my toughest times was there. I think it was more focused on like what everyone else was thinking and like what was going to happen with football. Like, with knowing that I didn't do anything wrong. I think that was the hardest part, when the world thought I was like this big bad criminal. So yeah, I think knowing that people thought I was someone who I wasn't, I think that was the toughest part. But yeah, I think, as I said, it made me a lot stronger now. I think like handling situations now, I'm like, well, I dealt with that for a year, so it's a breeze. So yeah, I think it's made me stronger, definitely, but it was a tough time, and I'm not going to sit here and act like it was easy, but yeah, I'm glad it's obviously all sorted now and the truth has finally come out.
So you mentioned there was obviously so much attention around what had happened. Do you find there are any downsides to being so well recognised and well known now, so mainstream?
Yeah, I think that whole situation in general, I think if I wasn't Khiara Keating, who plays for Man City, I think it wouldn't have gone anywhere near where it went, or it definitely wouldn't have dragged on for however long it dragged on for a year. So I think that's always a tough thing. People are always out for a story. So it's just a life that you kind of sign up for. But again, I think it being well known comes with the good things, because you get a following, you can pass a message on. Like, being the first Black English goalkeeper was something that I could be so proud of. But then there's also obviously the negative side, where people's intentions aren't really the best for you sometimes, so it's always hard to face it. But yeah, I think that whole situation wouldn't have happened if I wasn't as well known as I am. So yeah, that's always the downside, but I do think there is a lot of pros to it as well.
And just off the back of that, obviously, I know we're going to talk about the massive historic moment that you've had with the Lionesses, but we've also seen quite a few kind of high-profile instances of things like racism, because of how mainstream and high-profile the girls are now. You know, Just Naz, obviously, Bunny Shaw as well. How's it kind of made you feel, kind of seeing this sort of heightened racial tension, I suppose, in women's football in past years?
Yeah, I think it's obviously not nice, obviously being someone of colour anyway, knowing that anyone can say anything to me and I'd be affected. But I think because the women's sport's going in such a positive direction, knowing that things like this are still happening, it's questions, is it going in the direction that we all think it's going in, or is it just being masked by something? Obviously it's not nice knowing obviously the people who it's happening to, obviously Bunny, Jess, Carter in the Euros. So it's always one of them topics where it doesn't really get spoken about, but it's always obviously not nice to hear, and obviously being someone of colour, but just I don't feel like it's ever going to fully stop. So I think just knowing how we can minimise it anyway would benefit a lot more people.
Let's definitely talk about your England journey. So much has happened, the past few years, but also, I suppose, just in terms of the historic moment that you've had with the Lionesses very recently. Let's talk about the start, though. What do you remember about the moment that you first got your call up to join the Lionesses?
I remember I didn't answer the phone. Yeah, I know. I was in the car and I just didn't answer. I was like, who's this unknown number calling me? Like, what? And I went on WhatsApp and seen a picture and it was Serena. I was like, oh, maybe I should actually answer the phone. And then, yeah, she said that she's obviously been watching games and that I've been doing really well, so I'll be getting called up. And I didn't believe it till I was actually there.
You thought it was a prank call?
Yeah, no, like genuinely, even though people texting me about my car and stuff, but I didn't it didn't feel real till I was there.
How did you celebrate that moment? Finally, you got that call up.
Had a Chinese.
What's your Chinese order?
Oh, right. It depends who I'm with.
Okay.
Like if it's like a sharing platter, then I get salt and pepper chips, salt and pepper chicken, sweet and sour chicken, special fried rice, salt and pepper chicken balls, prawn crackers, spring rolls. Oh, I love it all.
That's about a £600 order at a Chinese. That's crazy.
But when you share it, it's actually not too bad. It works out like 30 quid.
All right, fine.
Not too bad.
Well, it's £600 in London. Maybe different vibes.
Yeah, and Manchester Chinese is way better than London Chinese.
I have heard that about the salt and pepper chips, to be fair. Yeah, different gravy.
You need to try it.
After this, maybe we'll go down to the local. What is your local Chinese? I thought I should give them a shout out. This is such a historic moment.
It's called Yum Cha. YUM_CHA. The best.
Obviously, you recently made history when you made your debut as the first Black female goalkeeper to play at senior level for the Lionesses. I mean, even from my personal perspective, that was such a beautiful moment to like see you do. Obviously, I felt quite gutted because of the situation in which we first met at Coventry. I knew that you were going to go very far given that performance, but it was a really emotional thing for me to see like someone of colour being able to achieve something on that level and at such a young age. But how did you feel when you found out, when you knew that you were going to be making history in that way?
Yeah, well, I didn't realise till Lucy literally told me the day before, and I was like, thanks, Lucy, like no added pressure. But nah, I think it is really special and something you don't really think about. Like you kind of just get on with it. But knowing that obviously I was the first was like, wow. And I really hope that the gap to the next one isn't as big. And yeah, it's kind of one of them where you're like, I'm proud, but it shouldn't have took this long for even it to be me. But yeah, it's special and something I always wear with an honour. And
there were so many lovely moments afterwards of you being given the cap, and I think you were in, was that canteen or something in the
in dinner hall.
Yeah, how was that moment, kind of like having the cap presented to you?
No, yeah, it was so nice. Obviously Serena's speech and then all the girls and the staff being there, they've watched me grow from when my first ever camp to obviously making my debut. I think the girls are lovely, and I think after the Euros we're all so close. I think it's like a family, so knowing that I did that with them and they're all proud of me was very special.
And what's the dynamic like in the England camp in terms of like, are you the little sister? Like,
I am the annoying little sister, and everyone you ask will tell you the same thing. But I don't think they'll have it. They wouldn't have it any other way.
And who are your like besties in the England camp?
Niche and Chloe, they're my two and Elge.
Okay.
But Mish is my number one.
And if you're going away on like an international trip, who's in your room? Who's your roommate?
We don't share rooms, which I love.
No, this isn't right.
We don't share rooms.
No.
Is that crazy?
Women's football's gone too far. I'm sorry. Back in my day, it'd be like 4 of you in a bunk bed.
Really? No, we don't share rooms, but Mish definitely comes to my room. She might as well share my room. We're in each other's room. And Jess Naz.
Okay, cool.
We're always doing some sort of TikTok or some trend.
How has that kind of been, this kind of the evolution of kind of the TikTok women's football youngsters? I feel like there's more and more, and I feel like some of the older players are also kind of jumping on the bandwagon with, you know, Mary Earps and Millie Bright kind of doing those kind of things as well. Have you found that kind of side of juggling, like showing people your personalities and then also like the professionalism of playing too?
No, I think it's special to show people that we do have fun. Like we sit there and scroll on TikTok just like you scroll on TikTok. But yeah, I think I love teaching everyone the new dances and stuff, especially Lucy. Lucy's really good.
Is she?
Yeah, she's a good learner. And obviously when Mary was there, we had a little TikTok group. But yeah, I think it's fun. It's a way to express yourself and show people a bit more about you.
Do you kind of like that side of, you know, having the profile, being able to kind of show your personality a little bit more, and like you're such a sort of like big personality, you kind of want to get that out there?
Yeah, I think people think sometimes we are robots when really we are human, and it's just, yeah, it's a fun way to show people what you're about a bit. And yeah, just have a bit of fun with it.
We'll talk about your goalkeeping development, especially with the Lionesses. Obviously, you've been working super hard with Serena and the national goalkeeper coaches. What's the biggest technical or mental shift that you've noticed in the goalkeeping game?
I think you need to be good at more than one thing. Like back in the day, people used to be good at shot stopping, and they used to be the best keeper in the world. But now I think you need a lot of things. The game's obviously getting better, the players are getting faster, so shots are getting harder. So I think just being a well-rounded keeper instead of obviously just having one super strength balances out everything.
And what would you say your super strength would be if someone said, okay, what's your ultimate, what you want to be known for?
I think I'm going to say distribution. I just think I play for City, we always have the ball, different types of passes. So yeah, I'm going to say distribution.
And what's your favourite goalkeeper training? Is it kind of, you know, you get the crash mats out, you get the ball launchers, like what's your favourite session?
Oh, have you played goalie walls before?
Goalie wall, is that where you have the nets either side?
Yeah,
and you just smash the ball
and
each
you
other?
literally just smash a ball at each other. They're my favourite. Or if it's like an actual session, the reactive ones, like where it's like it comes off anything and you just have to fly.
Oh, the deflection boards and all that, yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
You went to the Euros this summer. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience, and also as your role as a non-starting player at a major tournament, obviously helping to lift the trophy in your own way with the team?
I don't think words can describe, and I know everyone says it, but like the feeling of winning, like I will never ever forget, or like I can't describe to you, but it was so special. I think to do it back to back, and I think it was the way we did it which made it even more special. Obviously, giving everyone grey hairs all tournament was, yeah, it was good. It was so good. I think for my family as well, experiencing the feeling of being in a country for a month, as well as me, was special. That I could give them that experience that they'll never forget as well. And obviously the after party where we're all together was amazing. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that feeling.
What was that moment like when you saw the penalty kick being taken and then realising that you'd won an international major tournament at your age? Like what was going through your head at that point?
Like I just ran and screamed, like I didn't even know where I was running to. But no, I think, yeah, when I sat with Mish while everyone was celebrating, I was like, she was like, Khiara, we did it, like Kiwi did it. I was like, whoa, like we've actually just won a Euros like, against Spain, who are a very, very good team. And yeah, I think it was special. But obviously not starting, sometimes you feel like you're not as involved. But as a team, I think from Serena to the players, they make you feel like there's 23 of us in the squad and we're all Euro champions. We all did our bit. Obviously, the big personality and my kind of role was more off pitch, obviously making sure everyone was laughing, joking, in the right headspace. Like after the France game, trying to lift everyone's mood up. Like it's the first game of the tournament. You never know what can happen. And yeah, we went on to win it, so which is great and the best story.
What was that kind of friendship and relationship like with Hannah Hampton throughout the tournament? Because obviously it was such a tight-knit goalkeeper union.
Yeah, I think obviously you always want everyone to do well. You want the team to do well. I think the whole goal we all knew as a keeping department, as a team, was that we are going to win this and we're going to win it no matter what. Obviously, H had an amazing tournament, standout performances, big saves in penalty shootouts and stuff. So yeah, I think H knows how well she did. I think as a keeper department, we just all knew our roles and the plan was executed perfectly.
So obviously there was a lot of attention, like media attention around the Euros. Like you said, it did all give us a lot of nervous moments. We weren't too sure how games were going to go. Some of the games we just didn't know whether we were going to get through. It was really nervous for us back home, and I can't imagine how it was for you guys being out there and experiencing it all. But obviously with the media noise, like how do you drown out that noise while you're out there and trying to focus on the next game in hand?
I think we knew from the start what our goal was. Like, no matter how the first game went, I think we always knew that we wanted to win and we wanted to be back-to-back champions. I think keeping it, obviously, not paying too much attention to the media anyway while you're in tournament is important, because half-time's not anything positive. I think after we lost that first game, I think the backlash was crazy. So I think as a group, we kind of just come to the consensus that we're not going to listen to it. Like, we know what we bring, we know how good we are, and we still know our goal, and it's still very much possible. I remember Lucy saying that the last time she lost a first game in a major tournament, they ended up coming second, I think. So it's like, you can never count us out. And I think we kind of knew that the whole way through.
Do you feel like that was that belief there from the very outset that you guys were going to go on and win it?
Yeah, I think after that first game, obviously wasn't how we wanted to start a tournament. But I think after that, the reaction from the girls, even the finishers who didn't even get foot on the pitch, but the training session, the standard, the day after the game was amazing. Then we all came together, obviously, as a group and figured out that this is what we want, so this is how we're going to do it. And yeah, the plan worked perfectly.
Didn't it just? How did it feel when you found out that you're going to face Spain in the final? I feel like it's just Spain, England all the time. But obviously they're one of the toughest oppositions in the world. What was that like?
Yeah, I think you were always looking to see where you would eventually meet him. I think knowing that we'd meet him in the final was exciting, but I think like Spain were a very good team. Obviously we play them in Nations League as well, so it's not just the Euros. So we know the qualities they bring, but I think on the other side to that, we also know how good we are. Like, we're going into this tournament, like we've already winning it last time. So yeah, I think it was just the belief that we could do it. No matter how good they are, we're also a very good team.
And obviously you've done it, you've got the medal. Where is the medal in your house? Where are you putting it?
It's in like I got it the other day, it's in a frame with like my shirts here and then the medals like on the other side of the frame. It's quite cool actually. It was £120.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Do you want to shout at the framing company as well?
I actually can't even remember, but you did a great job.
How different would you say the environment in the England squad is compared to your club setup at Manchester City? Is it hard to kind of transition from this big moment in the Lionesses and then a few weeks later you're back at kind of City training, new faces, new style of play, and you're back into kind of WSL mode and looking at league titles and things?
Yeah, I think it was because every day for a month you wake up to the same faces at breakfast, lunch and dinner. I remember the week that I got home, I was like, what do I do now? Like, where's everyone? Like, I wanted to do like a group FaceTime call just to say hi to everyone. But no, I think obviously it was good to take time to digest what had happened. I think you can't fully switch into City mode straight away. I think taking time to obviously celebrate with my family, my friends back home, you couldn't make it to the final was just as important. So once you've had that time to celebrate, then obviously there's a switch where you're like, right, City head back on. But yeah, I think obviously being at City for so many years, it felt like I was just coming home to another family. So it was quite nice.
And how was that coming back in that moment? Like, was there do you have a big party, a big celebration, like wearing the medal, red carpets rolled out?
We had a balloon arch. No, we had cupcakes, and we had like a welcome home party from like most of the staff at City, which was really nice. Obviously, Pep came and said congratulations, which is quite special. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget like the feeling of like coming home as a European champion.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Gosh. In terms of, obviously, there's been quite a lot of changes in the England Lionesses sort of goalkeeping setup. You know, it's yourself, Hannah, you've got Sophie Bagley there as well. Do you feel like this is a kind of a pivotal moment for you to kind of establish yourself in the goalkeeping setup? And so many big major tournaments coming up in the Lionesses sort of future. Are you looking to kind of get into that number one position? And yeah, that's always the ambition, I suppose.
Yeah, I think, as you said, everyone wants to play. I think once you get a taste of it now, you get hungry for more. I think any opportunity to get better, I'm always going to take it. I think we do have very good goalkeepers like coming through and already there. So I think, yeah, I do want to play in a major tournament one day. Obviously, it'll work out when it needs to work out, but I'm going to be hungry for it either way.
And it's such a kind of a young goalkeeping setup, I suppose, in the Lionesses. Like, how is that as a kind of like a goalkeeping tribe?
I think it's nice. I think Anna like balances out me and H. I think we're like the mad younger ones, and Anna's a bit more senior, so she's a bit more zen. But no, I think the dynamic that we have, I think at the Euros worked really, really well. I think obviously Baggers, she was a training player, but she brought a lot to us as well. I think obviously having her around would be nice. She brings a lot as well. So yeah, I think we've kind of worked out the dynamic now. We know how each of us work.
That mixture of kind of experience and maturity, like with the youth, the passion, like the different way that the goalkeeping's transitioning.
Yeah, I think you need a bit of both. I think if me and Hannah was to let loose by ourselves, it'd be a bit mad. So yeah, I think we all bring obviously different qualities, which is special, and we can all just be ourselves.
And now you're back into Man City life. Obviously, at the time of this recording, you guys are absolutely smashing it, top of the table.
Touch wood, it continues.
It is nice to see a different shade of blue up there, I'm not going to lie. How's it kind of been for you this season, and kind of seeing the success that City have been having recently?
Yeah, I think obviously not getting Champions League last season really like took an effect on us. Obviously, you want to be playing football at the highest level. We are such a big club and we have such great players. So I think the feeling of disappointment really fueled us for the season. We've had some great, obviously, new signings that have come in and players that have stepped up last season that probably didn't step up as much or wasn't given a chance. So yeah, I think as a team and as a club, we know what we need to do. And I think in games where it's been tough, we've showed that we have that resilience that we probably didn't have in previous years, or we know how to see games out now instead of like crumbling in the 97th minute like against Arsenal. So I think, yeah, we're going to do it this year. Mark my words, we can replay this back when we've done it. But nah, yeah, we've got a very good chance and a very good opportunity, obviously, being top of the league now, which is very nice to say. We haven't said that in a long time. But yeah, no, I think we know what the end goal is, and I don't think we're going to stop till we achieve it. Do
you think there's a pressure when you see your Man City at the top of the table? It's kind of like, because you're there, obviously you want to keep it. Like, do you think there's a pressure in kind of being in this position?
Yeah, I think the top dog always gets hunted at some point. I think obviously seeing Man City up there, I think even at the start of the season, many people didn't really put us to ever be top of the league. So I think proving a lot of people wrong always gives you the motivation, and yeah, no one wants to drop from number one. So we'll do everything we can to stay there.
Wishing you guys the best of luck.
Thanks.
This final section is kind of just a little bit of a wrap up and some kind of random questions, just about kind of like what your career looks like, the next chapter, that kind of thing. Who's the best player you've ever played against?
Against Bonmatí. She is a joke. Like a joke. I remember Barcelona away. I'm in the tunnel looking at her like, and she had a very good game, and it was very scary, but we did all right. But it was a game to forget the result. But it's nice to say that I played against her, and I stopped her a few times.
A fair few times.
A fair few times.
Did you speak to her after the game?
Yeah, she just said you did really well, and it could have been a lot more than it was.
That's high praise from a Ballon d'Or winner like that.
I took that with my whole two hands and said thanks.
What's the biggest challenge or mistake / regret in your career so far, if you have any?
I think obviously the whole court situation, I think that was the hardest time, I think, because it dragged on for so long, knowing that I still had to wake up and go to training and perform like nothing was wrong, when sometimes I didn't even want to get out of bed. It was very, very tough. So yeah, definitely that.
And what's your biggest highlight so far?
Euros. I think personal highlight, the Golden Glove, but as a team, like a team environment, the Euros will forever be amazing.
And where is your Golden Glove award? I mean, these awards are starting to stack up. With the
Where
player of
is
the
it?
month
It's in my apartment. I have like a thing with my trophies. It's front row.
like a Khiara shrine type thing, like an accolade wall.
My mum has like a trophy cabinet, but I've not got that many trophies yet. So hopefully one day I'll upgrade to a trophy cabinet.
What is it like for your siblings, like seeing all these awards like pop up? Have you become like mum's favourite? Like what's happening?
No,
here?
my siblings actually used to play football.
Okay.
Like I've got a little sister now who's 12 and she's currently at Liverpool. But my other sisters used to play football, but then fell out of love with it. So all the trophies are not all mine, but majority are mine. So they still contribute a bit. So
they can try, you know. But
yeah.
I mean, Euros winner is like, as a
the Euros one, you'll never get it.
And what's the relationship like with you and your little sister? Like now she's doing her own sort of journey, I'm assuming, to go into professional football as well.
Yeah, I mean, she loves it. Obviously, she was always been around it. So like when she comes to the England games, she's in the friends and family bit with Les. She loves Alessia, so she's like, oh my God, Les. So her and Les will speak for about 10 minutes, just yapping away about the most randomest things. But yeah, I think when I made my England debut, she was like, wow, I really want to do this. That imagine like we played together on the same team, which is actually possible, which is quite scary.
And what position is she?
Striker.
Oh, how has that worked out?
I mean, I see myself in her when I was little, so she's going to live my striker dream for me.
Okay, fine.
Do you get it? That's how it's going to work.
Do you like train with each other sometimes? I mean, it's the perfect like training combo
She's 12.
I mean, the 12-year-olds now, they're in strength and conditioning. Like,
no, to be fair, she came to me the other day and she was like, my quads are really hurt. And I was like, why? She was like, I did gym. I was like, nah, I actually can't. But nah, we haven't trained together. But I go to her games all the time and she is a great player.
There's a world in which you two play against each other in the WSL.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's what would that game even look like?
I was thinking about it. If she made her debut when she was 16, that would only be 4 years away. I'd only be 24, 25.
I feel sorry for your mum. It's not even like those colours are the same. I mean, you've got you can get one of those half and half scarves actually.
Yeah. We'll get her a little shirt made, a little half and half.
Yeah, nice.
But she has to work hard and get there first.
What would your reaction be if your little sister scored against you?
Going off. No, I won't be. I genuinely wouldn't be able to live it down. So yeah, let's just hope she doesn't ever. I hope her great career just not score against me. It
would be your retirement announcement the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely would see that.
Lovely. What's your go-to pre-match meal?
Beans on toast.
Beans on toast? Every single game?
I eat that every day.
What's your post-match meal?
Like cheeky, are we talking cheeky or like healthy-ish?
We'll do one healthy, you've got recovery the next day. Second one, you've been given the day off to rest.
Healthy-ish is a Nando's. Not healthy is a Chinese.
Have you got that elusive black card yet from Nando's? Because our previous point of view was with Beth Mead and Katie McCabe, and they said...
And they have Nando's black cards?
They said they had them, just...
Pending. Nando's, we love you.
What's the happiest you've ever been in your career?
Ooh. England debut. I think it was very needed at the time. I think obviously it being at Etihad in front of my family, I think going into the lounge after was so surreal.
What's your craziest football story?
Falling over in training. But me and Ruby at England camp once, we ran on a roof and scared this girl called Tara. But it was hilarious. I probably shouldn't be saying that now.
What was Serena's reaction to you running on the roof?
No, it was at 23, so it wasn't like a big thing. But it was more everyone found a joke out of it than you actually just ran on the roof. But like our bedroom window opened out onto the roof.
Right. Okay.
And then we just like scattered across the knock next door and like scared the life out of them.
I had like visions of you then, like running across like St George's Park. Just,
Nah.
like, yeah. I was like, it's quite high.
Grown now, mature.
If you could change one thing about the women's football industry, what would it be?
I think the negativity that we get and people comparing it to the men's game. I don't think you can compare the two. I think we bring a lot of different things. So yeah, I think definitely comparing and the negativity around it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't like golf, so I won't watch golf, would I? So yeah.
Would you say goalkeepers get it a little bit harder as well in terms of the?
Yeah, I think it's a position where you make a mistake. That a striker can lose the ball up there 10 times. You lose the ball as a goalkeeper and you're like, the goal's there, and then they score. It's just a long day. But yeah, I think it is one of the hardest positions. And I think you also do have to mentally be switched on all the time. Especially at sea, where sometimes you might not touch the ball because we have possession down there, but then you might have a counter, so you're like, whoa. So yeah, I think it is a very tough position.
How do you keep yourself warm? I used to have glove warmers that I'd put in my...
I need some tips because my feet, it's my toes. My toes get too cold. But I just do a little jog, just keep moving. Simple things.
Thermal socks and heat warmers. I used to put, this won't go on record, like I used to put heat warmers down my sports bra to keep me like, you know, like
Yama's got like a heating gel from Japan.
Nice. Yeah.
That is mad.
Yeah. I used to have like quite significant burns on my chest from it, but it was worth it. Anyway, we digress. What do you do for fun outside of football? What makes you laugh and feel carefree?
Being around my friends and my family. Like, I love my family. Like, my family is funny. Like, my mum says all the time we should go on like Gogglebox, but I would get cancelled, so it wouldn't be a great idea. But I do love like just spending time, like whether that's going bowling, watching a little movie. Yeah, something chill.
Bit of paddle.
Paddle. Love paddle.
What does life look like for you after football? I know you are literally just
started
your
career. I have not thought about that one bit. No, I don't have a clue. I don't even know what I'd want to do. I like baking.
What kind of things do you bake? Are you kind of intentional Great British Bake Off baker? Like, do we see you in the tent at any time soon?
No. Like, the thing is about baking, it's so easy because you can just read. Like, if you follow the instructions, you're going to get something at the end of it. But me and Laura had a bake-off last year and I won. Well, mine looked better, but hers apparently tasted better, even though it was dry. So, baking's easy. I feel like it's something you just dip your toe in.
What did you bake?
I'll show you a picture. But mine was actually really good. It was like a Victoria sponge, but then I had like blue and pink icing around. Everyone said it looked like a gender reveal cake, but that wasn't what I was going for. But Laura made a lemon cake, like how dry. All she did was put some like little fake gold on it.
Not good enough.
Yeah, mine was way better.
If you were going to imagine a career after football, would you want to stay in football, or do you think you'd do something completely different? Like
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I'm out the game, I'm out the game. But I think more like social media side probably. I could do. Not commentating. You have to be too switched on. You can't just watch a game of football, do you know what I mean? Like after football I want to just enjoy, just like not thinking in my head like, oh my god, they're doing a 4-4-2 and this player's playing well. I just want to I've done my time. Signing out. It's for the rest of the years now.
Sit back, watch your little sister in the WSL at the weekend.
Yeah, I'll be supporting my sister.
Cool. What kind of legacy do you want to leave the game?
I think just showing like people that no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And I think showing people that there's also other side to football. Like there's a side where there's tough times, but you can get through it. And I think showing people like a bit of your personal life, like on TikTok, whether that's me doing a dance or showing a bit of personality, there's different ways to show you in a sport which is quite rigid.
Well, that's it. We really, really appreciate you showing us a little bit more about your personality, sharing your side of the story, and opening up and giving us a bit of a taste of what you've been up to and thoughts and feelings. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. Hi, I'm Khiara Keating. I'm professional. I am a professional. What am I actually doing?